have a round of introduction?
Sure thing. On the bass over here, my long-term comrade, David Wayne Gay on the bass. He's also in Freakwater, the band you just heard. Isaac Johnson on the keys. Springs Wade on the drums. Aaron Klemstra on the cello. Sorry, I don't play with a lot of classical instrument players before, and it's a real treat. So we're gonna have some cello coming up, and then Krista DeMaio, my wife, on background vocals on this next song.
Welcome to Studio B and WNCW. Let's hear it.
I saw a little beam of sunlight steal across a purple sky and bent down to kiss a rose. It made me wanna cry to think that I had been permitted to be a part of nature's plan. Oh, there's nothing that stands out more than the selfishness in man. Little children painting pictures of the birds and apple trees. Oh, why can't the grown-up people show the faith of one of these? And to think those tiny fingers might become a killer's hand. Whoa, there's nothing that stands out more than the selfishness in man. Oh, why can't we see the folly and the uselessness of hate? Love could lead to understanding. I hope it's not too late. Then perhaps in our great wisdom we might learn to understand there'd be no shame or sorrow, and no selfishness in man. There'd be no shame or sorrow, and no selfishness in man.
Drunken Prayer, live in Studio B on WNCW. A little George Jones for your Monday afternoon.
Leon Payne wrote that.
Yeah. Talking about the name Drunken Prayer and the premise of the band, because it could be easy for someone to take it in ironically, and something that is you're not straight ahead, like you say, not trying to save anybody's soul. But this record, Thy Burdens, this is straight down the middle of gospel material, and it's run throughout your catalog all through the years. I wonder if you can comment where you're coming from with all of these religious themes.
This record and just the name Drunken Prayer just kind of like worked out to be kind of a nice bow. If this was going to be the last record I ever did, this would be a pretty good one. I started off doing this in Portland, Oregon, at this biker bar called the Queen of Hearts on Sunday afternoons, and I know a ton of gospel songs. It's like, well, let's see how this goes. It went over pretty well, and I just kept the name Drunken Prayer just because it's going to jump out at you more than just my name in your newspaper or something like that. But all my records have kind of hint at this, different themes, like songs like Pearls and Swine. And we do Ain't No Grave on I think y'all played that earlier. And it's something I've just always wanted to do. It's a complete labor of love. Of course, we were always going to release it, but it's still odd to have it be out in the public, something that's so personal. It's like, and though we're not trying to save souls in that kind of situation, we're 100% behind this. Like I said, it's a labor of love, and the first thing on my mind is that there's no irony to it, or that we're cosplaying a gospel band. Not trying to do that in the least, and like I said, that's pretty close to the front of my mind in all of this. I don't want to like pretend to do this. I'm not. It's just music I love.
In your press, it calls it cosmic gospel songs, which are meant to spread inconvertibly true and inconceivably vast principles of kindness, right and wrong, and social justice. And I wonder, how do you think people arrive at what seems like today wildly divergent conclusions for what they learned about these principles in whatever religious or moral education they had?
Well, it depends on who was doing the teaching or which books you're reading, and then the context of it all. All these songs are kind of just, and I think in general what you're getting at is like the best material holds up a mirror to you or to society and be just like, how do you feel about this? It's just like take a step back and walk in someone else's shoes, and how would you like it if this was happening to you, without saying you should do this, or you're going to hell if you're doing that, or you're not going to be saved, or you're a sinner, or something. This finger wagging. It's not my job to tell someone they're doing wrong. Something I wouldn't do, and if someone's hurting someone else, obviously right in front of you, you do something about it. But what I do is play music. And that's my job, and I'm doing it the best I can, and this isn't happening in a void, even though we weren't trying to make a socially conscious record, because we started on this like a year and a half ago. Matt's super busy, and it has come out at a time when I sure love listening to it, and a lot of other people that I talk to, whether they're believers or not, get a lot out of it. Whether it's literally the words to the song, or the combination of how we're playing it with the words of the song, or those two plus playing them in dirty rock bars to people who didn't expect that when they walked through the door. And for those folks who just want to see a good rock show, I haven't heard any complaints yet.
Drunken Prayer came about with a chance conversation with Tom Waits, is that right?
Yeah, in a roundabout way. I was working at a bookstore in Northern California, and he's a reader, and we just started talking, and I would run into him at a local grocery store every once in a while, and in the wine and fish aisle, we started talking about gospel music and early rockabilly and stuff like that. And he turned me on to a record by the Abyssinian Gospel Choir that John Hammond put out, and we just started talking about the kind of philosophical reach and tension between Saturday nights, Sunday mornings, and how there's something extra in the room when people play this kind of music that I've noticed. Maybe not in like a modern praise band, but definitely in some of the Pentecostal churches, or even like when you listen to like Loretta Lynn or George Jones, there's something extra that they're not singing to you and me. You know what I mean? And so it's as far as they're concerned, this is the unvarnished truth.
Well, you got some dates in Oregon in July, touring a lot.
Yeah, we just got off the road in last month, and then this month going over to Portland and around the countryside out there before hitting the road again in August.
And then be back in North Carolina for a gig at the Town Pump on August 9th.
The Town Pump with 40 2010s. Yeah, that'll be good. I played there for a long time.